If you master supply and demand trading, you can significantly increase your profits. To get the most out of this strategy, it's important to watch this video till the end because you have a lot to learn in the video, starting from what supply and demand really are, why they're important, and how to identify and draw these zones. I will also reveal my personal entry model, and at the end of the video, we will have some real chart examples. So if it is something you are interested in, kindly hit the like button. Also subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get updated with our latest videos. Now let's get started. Supply and demand essentially reflect strong buying and selling activity. Large momentum candles indicate the involvement of major institutions, which move the market with high volume. Green momentum candles suggest strong buying pressure, while red ones indicate aggressive selling. In contrast, small candles suggest low volume and little interest from institutional players, making them unreliable. So, why do we trade supply and demand? Why are they so important? Personally, I trade supply and demand because I want to align my trades with the moves of the big players who actually have the power to move prices. The best way to spot their activity is through supply and demand zones. A supply zone appears when the market makes an impulsive move to the downside, while a demand zone shows up when there is an impulsive move to the upside. These strong momentum candles signal that the big players are active. As retail traders, we don't have the capital to influence the market, unlike institutions managing millions or billions. Imagine you had insider knowledge that these major players were buying at a specific price level. Of course, you'd want to buy at that level too. But since we don't have that insider knowledge, identifying supply and demand zones is the next best thing. So supply zones are simply areas where the big players place their sell order, pushing price downwards. While demand zones, on the other hand, are areas where the big players place their buy orders, pushing price upwards. These areas act as footprints of the smart money. Now, how do we identify and draw these zones? The first step is to identify at least 3 consecutive momentum candles. As shown here, we've spotted 3 green momentum candles in a row. It can be more than 3 candles. You may see 4, 5, or even more, but the minimum requirement is 3. Keep in mind that you're looking for large, strong candles, not small or weak ones like these ones right here. So in this example, we'll use these 3 green momentum candles. The next step is to identify where the move began. This upward move started from the candle just before the momentum candles began. So you'll want to use your rectangle tool to mark the high and low of that preceding candle. Draw a box from the high to the low of that candle and extend it across the chart. This highlighted area between the 2 lines becomes your demand zone. Now, the key is to wait for the price to return to the zone, and once it does, that's your signal to consider entering a buy position. Same concept applies to identifying a supply zone. First, you have to identify at least 3 bearish momentum candles in a row, and when you have spotted it like we have in this example, then you identify where the move began and mark out the candlestick that caused the impulsive move. That highlighted area becomes your supply zone. So you will be waiting for price to come back into the zone, so you start looking to sell. Another method of identifying supply and demand involves marking out consolidation zones. As you can see here, the price is moving sideways without any clear direction. In such cases, you can draw a box around the entire consolidation range. Notice that when price broke out of the consolidation range, it moved up to retest the consolidation box before sharply reversing downwards. The third method is to spot areas with long wicks. Wicks indicate price rejection, meaning the market attempted to move in one direction, but was pushed back. In this example, multiple long wicks appear in the same area, signaling strong rejection. You can draw a box around this wick-heavy zone and extend it forward. Later, when the price returned to this level, it bounced strongly, confirming it as a solid demand zone. Now that we understand how to identify supply and demand zones, let's look at how we can trade them. In this example, I've spotted 3 strong green momentum candles, which indicates a demand zone around this area. Now, after noticing these candles, I look at the last candle that formed before the upward move, which is this red candle here. Then, using my rectangle tool, I mark the range from the high to the low of that candle and extend the box to the right. That marks the demand zone. At this point, we're waiting for the price to pull back into this demand zone for a potential trade entry. Now, there are two main ways to trade this setup. You can either set a pending buy order at the demand zone so that when price gets back there, your broker will automatically enter you into a buy. Or you can wait for price to retest it, and you manually enter after observing how the price reacts at that level. But personally, I prefer the second approach because no matter how strong a demand zone looks, there's always a chance that price could break through it. Now I'm patiently watching for price to return to this zone. And as you can see, price is approaching it, but when it touches the zone, you don't enter right away. You need to wait for confirmation. That's the key to a perfect entry. You need price action to show signs that it's ready to bounce back to the upside. When price got to the zone, it formed a long wick candle, signaling price rejection at this level and potential upward movement. This candle shows that price is pushing away from the zone, but we still need to wait. Next, I check the following candles, and here we get a large green bullish engulfing candle. This signals that buyers have stepped back in and the big players are likely filling their buy orders in this demand zone. Now it's clear that price is ready to push higher, so this is where I would enter a buy trade. For the stop loss, I'll place it slightly below the zone, though to be extra cautious, you could place it below the most recent low, but I like to place mine below the zone itself. For the take profit, I will just target a 1 to 2 risk to reward, or you target the next high, which is this one right here. Then letting the trade run, you can see how price pushed up from there, hitting our profit target and giving us a winning trade. Let's look at a bearish example. On this chart, we spotted these momentum candles, which indicates institutional involvement in this move. So after spotting these candles, we have to look for the last candle that formed before the move, which is this green one right here. Then we mark it out using our rectangle tool. Next, we wait for price to retest it so we can get in for a sell. Now as price pulled back into the zone, it formed a long wick candle, signaling price rejection at this level. But we still wait for more confirmation to solidify our entry. And as we move further, we can see that price formed a bearish engulfing candle, indicating a clear shift of momentum. So this is where we will enter a sell trade. For our stop loss, we will place it slightly above the zone, and our profit target will be set at 2 times the stop loss. And letting the trade run, you can see how price pushed down and hit our profit target. So this is a simple strategy that can make you super profitable if you apply it correctly. Now that you've seen the strategy in action and how effective it can be, it's time to put it into practice. Take these steps and apply them to your charts and watch how your trading improves. If you found value in this video, kindly hit the like button, also subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos.